Inside Tennis with the Cause is brought to you by Firkins Automotive. Find it at Firkins.
Hi, tennis fans. The Cause here with another half hour inside the world of tennis. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Don't let the summer clearance event at Firkins pass you by. New 2018 Dodge Challengers just $169 a month. New 2018 Dodge Chargers $229 a month. Or new 2018 Dodge Durangos just $239 a month. Expect more, save more. Find it at Firkins. During the summer clearance event at Firkins, all new 2018 Rams must go. When you act now, get 0% APR financing for 72 months. Or sign and drive a new 2018 Ram Express, just $269 a month. Expect more, save more. Find it at Firkins.
Hi, I'm Johan Kriek, and you are Inside Tennis with the Cause.
Hi, tennis fans, the Cause here. Terrific as always to be with you. Welcome to our 2018 special edition of the U.S. Open Part 1. Part 1 of our 2018 U.S. Open will feature a number of our Suncoast and Sunshine State tennis notables. Leading up to the U.S. Open were a number of events. The Little Mo at Forest Hills, the Boots on the Court Military Clinic at West Point with Dick Stockton, the Tennis Industry Association Forum, and his Hall of Fame inductions of Jimmy Frommeth and the late, great Vic Braden, and the USPTA World Conference in conjunction with the USTA Tennis Teachers Conference, where Kathy Woods and Jimmy Everett were inducted into the USPTA Hall of Fame, as Chris Everett represented the family.
After school, maybe 2 hours. And my dad always said that the reason he started all the kids in our family playing tennis was he wanted to keep the family together.
The 2018 U.S. Open celebrated its golden anniversary, with the very first U.S. Open played at the original site, the Westside Tennis Club in Forest Hills.
People acknowledge that the Open in just those few days brings more money into the economy of the city than the Yankees, Mets, Knicks, and Rangers combined. And so tennis is a wonderful sport. It's especially good for children.
Oh, just fantastic, Cuz, to be at Forest Hills, to watch these legends icons, to see people like Johnny Ash. You don't see him around much, and to see him just rock this place was a great talk. To see our man Luke Jensen preside over this event, it's just wonderful to see all this history, all this texture that makes the game so wonderful. The past, the present, the legends, the tennis. Wonderful evening.
And Westside is a huge part of that story, along with everything that the game kind of offers to the juniors and the next 100 years. We're at a huge point in tennis right now that the writers and the players and the former players have to continue to tell its story.
Well, Arthur, of course, won the U.S. Open there, the first one, 68. And it was a phenomenal tournament, actually, because the field was so good, if you thought about it. He was still an amateur, and he beat Tom Ocker in the finals. But in that tournament was entered other players of the Australians, for example, Laver, Rosewall, Emerson, Fred Stolle, and then you had Pancho Gonzalez. You had a lot of the Americans. So it was a phenomenal field. And Cliff Drysdale, South Africa, beat Rod Laver in the quarters. And that was a big upset, and that opened up the top half for Arthur to get through. And Arthur beat Tom Ocker of Holland in 4 sets in the finals, and it was a funny deal because he was not allowed as an amateur to accept the prize money. So the first prize was $15,000, and Tom Ocker, who was the runner-up, got the prize. The money went to him. And then about 3 months later, I got a call from someone in the USTA office and said, Donald, there's been an anonymous gift to Arthur Ashe of $15,000 worth of stock because he couldn't take the first prize in the U.S. Open. And I said, well, we'd like to thank the person who did that. And they never told us. And truthfully, to this day, Arthur and I never knew who gave that stock because he wanted it anonymously. He didn't want us to know. And they honored that. And we cashed in the stock, and he made $15,000. So it's sort of a strange occurrence. but a wonderful one.
What a great example indeed, Donald, of love of the game and love of Arthur Ashe.
Well, Arthur was probably the most unique athlete I've ever managed. I managed a lot of them, Connors, Lendl, Edberg, awful lot of them that were awfully good players. But Arthur was very intellectual. He was a speed reader. He had a photographic memory. He had an IQ way above mine. And it was just, it was a wonderful thing. I managed Arthur for 23 years, but on a handshake. We never had a contract. And that always made me feel good about the relationship.
I think that the world needs to think about Arthur in perspective because of all that was happening to us in 1968. Okay. Arthur, by winning the U.S. Open, gave us all a breath of fresh air. Okay. It took us off our minds off of the horrors we were experiencing that year. And two, Arthur was a person who thought more about the future than he did about the present. Okay. And he knew what it would mean to these United States if they had a champion, because it had been a while since an American had won. He knew what it would mean to people of color if he became a champion. And he also realized what it would have meant to the world at large, okay? Because this country that's supposed to be the shining light on the hill finally recognized, okay, through people like Arthur, that we could all be equal. We could all make choices, sacrifices, and contributions to society. And I think that was a turning point not only in Arthur's life, but in the life of this country.
Todd, what contribution has the West Side Tennis Club made to our game?
Well, countless, first of all. I think the fact that it was the first home of the U.S. Open, but also the first home of the U.S. Nationals in our largest city in America. I think both of those are tremendously impactful elements of their contribution. And now the fact that 50 years on from the first U.S. Open, it's still a dynamic membership, a dynamic club, and a historic site. I think it's the gift that keeps on giving.
For 40 years, Louis Armstrong Stadium played host to some of the most memorable moments in tennis history. The new, beautiful 14,000-seat stadium, complete with its own retractable roof, will provide the U.S. Open great players and fans with another great venue.
Not only did they put this unbelievable roof over Arthur Ashe Stadium, but they decided to redesign this facility here, this court, and build this. This is the first time I've been here, and I've got to say I'm very much looking forward to playing in a couple minutes, and I know the players are going to be super excited. And as a New Yorker and as a Queens boy, I couldn't be prouder of this stadium, so thank you so much, and enjoy this stadium!
The 2018 Arthur Ashe Kids Day once again was the place to be for all kids who love nonstop excitement and entertainment. The stars came out for a dazzling display of music and tennis at the opening night ceremony, celebrating 50 years of U.S. Open tennis, was the theme, as preeminent chart topper Kelly Clarkson brought down the Arthur Ashe Tennis House at the 2018 U.S. Open.
This event just has become over the years, and it gets better every year. So I grew up about 15 minutes from here, Kaz, and so to come back every year. John and I got to open the new Louis Armstrong Stadium during the qualifying, and that's a tremendous new addition to the complex. So it's an honor to come back every year. I give USTA a lot of credit. Not only do you have two stadiums with retractable roofs, but I think the overall grounds and the experience for the fan, the real tennis fan, is a lot better. So credit to them and kudos to them.
They certainly are taking care of them, PMAC.
Yep.
In all areas. Entertainment, great spectating, state-of-the-art. Armstrong is unbelievable. And yes, I know you christened that the other day.
Yeah, it was fun. No, it is. It's I think that was a smart move by them to look at the whole complex. And obviously, the sponsorship and the corporate dollars are getting bigger and bigger, and that's great. That keeps the game going, keeps the USTA going. But at the same time, I think they thought about the fans too, and most importantly about the fans, because we need them. We need younger fans to keep coming into tennis. So I think with all the things going on around the grounds, I give them an A+.
A+ indeed,
yep.
A+.
And I give you an A+ too. Okay, you get an A+. Great to see you as always, guys. Thank you.
Art Site's 50 years means 50 anniversary years for you here at the U.S. Open. Year one, do you remember that one?
Sure do. 1968, Arthur Ashe won. Ocker was the runner-up. Virginia Wade was a winner. I think she beat Billie Jean King. I was a captain of the Air Force. I was stationed about 60 miles from here at West Hampton Beach. I got a credential from the West Hampton Gazette, I think, or some such, and they gave me a Press B credential, which was sort of worthless, but at least it got me in. And I had a tennis background, and off and running eventually.
Vitale, your grandkids have a passion for the sport. They were just recognized by the USTA. They're all blue chippers. You know what blue chippers do in basketball. Tell us what these kids do with their blue chip in tennis, Dick.
Well, our family's really a lover of tennis. We're all out here at the U.S. Open. There's 11 of us I brought out here as a reward. I have 4 kids that are nationally rated at play. Sydney, my daughter Terry's daughter, and then there's Sherry's 3, the twins, Connor and Jake, and Ava. And we're real proud. They've done exceptionally well. You mentioned blue chip. Blue chip means, number one, that you're in the top 25 in the nation in your class. And right now, we can't believe Jake is 22, Connor's 12, and little Ava in her group, she's way up there in the top 5. So, and that's all related to their class and their age.
Dick, when you bring the family out here, what do you hope the kids get out of watching the best players ever in the game?
Well, they just love the environment. The ambiance is really terrific. And what you can get is basically to see the intensity and the passion that these people have. You don't get to this level without having a sense of pride and passion and talent and ability. And then also you learn a little bit about what not to do. For example, the kid Kyrgios is a terrific talent, but he has a problem in terms of discipline on the court at times. And so you learn and you try to build on those things to say, well, this is the way you want to do it, mental discipline. You want to do things the right way. And this is something my grandkids have to learn. They're going through another phase now where they used to hunt upon kids and beat them. Now everybody wants to beat them. So now you got to be able to meet that challenge and that commitment. I do a lot of motivational talking. And when I speak about it, I talk about commitment. To me, when you have a commitment to what you want to do and you meet that challenge and you're ready to take that challenge on, you'll be a success.
Well, there you have it. The passion is just as high for our game of tennis. Dick Vitale, always great to get a few moments with you.
Well, I know you love the game, and I try to be available for you because I know you have a passion for what you're doing.
You bring it out in us, Dick. Thank you, Dick.
Okay.
Thanks. Well, Vitale kids, we all know how exciting Chevy Chase made his family vacation. How exciting does Dick Vitale make this family tennis vacation, Sydney?
It makes it really exciting having our whole family here. It's so fun to be watching tennis together, and we have a lot of fun. I love it.
Tough question here. When you come to a match, sometimes you cheer for different opponents. So, if you've got Federer playing Nadal, which could happen, who's your pick? And for whom are you cheering, Ava?
Definitely Roger Federer.
Can we hear something from Jake?
Yeah, I definitely go with Nadal. I love the way he plays, his energy, especially mixed with the U.S. Open atmosphere. It's really, really second to none.
Roger Federer is the GOAT.
All right. Now, when you come here, do you have any homework assignments? Any homework assignments to watch their footwork, their backswing, their anticipation, their clearance over the net? You know the checklist. What do you look for when you come to watch pros in action?
I really love to watch their demeanor on the court and how they play even when they're losing. And I love watching their attitude, just how they stay calm throughout the match.
Yeah, whenever we're here, it's also a vacation, but you like to learn a lot from all the pros, and there's a lot to learn.
How motivational is it to be here, have a number of your friends in the main draw, and it's just a matter of a year or two until you get into that main draw? What's that like?
Hopefully, it's definitely nice to see where the best players are at, what they do well, what I can work on, and it's like they said, you watch the best players in the world here, and it's a lot to learn.
Well, may I say it? Let's go, Vicky D. Kids. Nick Bollettieri, it's your kind of city, the Big Apple, the city that doesn't sleep. You barely sleep. What have you been up to the last 2.5 weeks up here?
Well, number one, the first week before the Open, I was at the tournament in Connecticut, the ladies' tournament that IMG sponsored. So I took care of that. And then here in New York, I'm doing a lot with inner city programs. I'm doing a lot with the USCA suite visits.
All right, Nick, they're all over the place. Every time you turn and look halfway around, you have a student. IMG, I have a couple of guys that I know you want to talk about. The Harrison brothers, they're making a mark in the men's doubles at this event.
Well, first of all, no one nicer than Pat Harrison and the entire Harrison family. Their daughter's playing for Mississippi. Ryan has done extremely well, but our boy Christian, who's come through a lot of difficulties, is making the breakthrough, and they're doing real well here in the doubles. And this is what Christian Harrison needed. He needed a little breakthrough.
Maria is shining again up here. How proud are you and the Academy? You launched her career, you kept her career afloat.
Well, the whole thing is that Maria came to me a long time ago, trained at the IMG Academy the week before last, and I believe with a little adjustment on her serve, Maria could be back again. So, and she has an outstanding coach, Thomas Hogstead, fantastic, and in a little while, the man from Japan,
Kei Nishikori, coming. All right, Nick, always great to catch up with this guy, but I've got to get a Nick pick.
Today, almost impossible. I'm taking the Fifth Amendment, baby.
Nick Bollettieri.
Thank you, everybody. God bless you, everybody. No pick, baby. I'm picking Nick Bollettieri. You know why? I know I'm a winner and I can prove it, but there are too many good people out there. Main thing is to have a winner that respects the sport. That's what it's all about. Thank you, everybody.
Firkins family, you've been with them from day one. They've been promoting tennis from day one, Nick Bollettieri.
Well, I think they help with a lot of local events.
Don't let the summer clearance event at Firkins pass you by. New 2018 Dodge Challengers just $169 a month. New 2018 Dodge Chargers $229 a month. Or new 2018 Dodge Durangos just $239 a month. Expect more, save more. Find it at Firkins. During the summer clearance event at Firkins, all new 2018 Rams must go. When you act now, get 0% APR financing for 72 months. Or sign and drive a new 2018 Ram Express, just $269 a month. Expect more, save more. Find it at Firkins.
Tennis fans, thanks for staying with us. Hope that you enjoy the second half of the 2018 U.S. Open. Here we are at the Open. Has to bring back memories. We have memories of you. Your fondest memories here.
It's actually my favorite memory in my tennis career was here. I've had two that I loved here. First one was 17 years old. I've just started doing well. So I'm ranked about 20 in the world because I made finals in Washington, finals in Indianapolis. So before that, I was 80. And I'm in the third round, night match in Louis Armstrong in those days in the stadium against Jimmy Connors. And in those days, everybody walked out together. They didn't introduce you and then the next guy come and they introduce him. So we just walk on the court, and because everyone loved Connors in New York, they start yelling, "Come on, Jimmy! Come on, Jimmy!" And me being me, standing behind him, waving to the crowd, saying, "Okay, I'll try." And the crowd actually started yelling back at me, "Not you!" which I thought was great. And then the other...
Throw off Connors a little bit, maybe?
I don't know, maybe. We went... I was up... it was a set all, and I was up 4-1 in the third, and he won that year. He tired me out a little bit as the match wore on, the nerves. But then a couple of years later, my favorite match of my career was night match again in the stadium, quarterfinals against Yannick Noah. And I ended up winning 7-5 in the fifth. And the match point was... I can't tell you the amount of pressure I felt because I wanted to make semis so badly. And I didn't know if I can handle the pressure of a final set tiebreak. And luckily, 15-30, he goes for an ace second serve and double faults.
Were they playing sudden death back there, a 9-pointer, or was this 12
No, it was
point?
12. It was still 12.
You came in later.
Yeah, it was still 12. And now he's serving 15-40 double match point for me, and he misses his first serve. So I know he's not going to try to hit an ace out wide again. He's going to kick it to my backhand. So I'm going to hit I'm going to have a forehand. I was pretty sure I could run around. He's going to kick it. So I knew this is my chance. I tried to swallow, and I couldn't swallow. That's how tight I was. So I decided I'm going to aim right down the center, but hit as hard as I can right down the center. So I run around. I get this exact serve I thought. I swing as hard as I can, but I'm so anxious. I hit so far in front that it went for an angle winner. An angle winner.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it looked like I meant to do it, but I missed my shot by 10 feet.
So here he is, as humble as he can be, sharing the behind the scenes. Actually, winners do come off of hitting hard down the middle once in a while, Arias.
It's the right play, actually. It's the right play. That's where you should return. Anyone at home, deep down the middle with some power, causes all kinds of problems for your opponent, number one. And number two, it's the safest return, because if you do what I did and mistime it slightly, you still got a chance for it to go in.
Save the voice. They're waiting for you upstairs. Always great to catch up with the Sarasota legend, Jimmy Arias.
Thanks, guys.
Well, we're seeing a lot of you these days in the post conferences here. Nice win on Monday, but my gosh, what's this one feel like?
Amazing.
Sakara is a big win, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I beat her at Wimbledon, and I knew she was going to play really good, and she's had a lot of great results, and I knew it was going to be a tough match, and she was going to make me work to win, and I'm really happy.
I mean, the numbers are on your side. What's it feel like? You're getting to like this place, aren't you?
Yeah, I love this place. New York is my favorite city. I want to live here and pursue fashion. That's another story, whatever. But yeah, I love the crowd. Everything is just amazing here. And I feel like I'm playing my best tennis here, so.
You got a streak? You know how to keep a streak? You keep winning?
Yes, I'm going to try to keep winning. I would love to. Believe me.
Arriving at the 2017 Wimbledon Championships, Bethany Mattek-Sands and Lucy Safarova were striving for their non-calendar slam when a horrific misfortune took place as Mattek-Sands tore her patella tendon during a singles match. The team is competing at the 2018 U.S. Open, hoping to pick up its 6th slam title. Oh my, has the world been waiting for this? And nobody's been waiting for it more than I have. 2 years nearly it was that we were standing here inside, of course, celebrating the last slam victory.
Yep.
All right, it's been a while. You're back. Yes, you're back together. What's it feel like?
I got my buddy next to me. We've been having a lot of fun. We've been playing since Wimbledon. We've only played a couple matches since then, but I feel like no matter how much time goes by, it's like old Team Boosie out there, and we have a lot of fun. We play our game and then see how the cards shake out, and today we got the win.
What's still the same that'll never change? What's kind of different or new playing back together again?
I guess it's only that we are 2 years older. Otherwise, we are all the same. Same fun,
older,
same game.
but 2 years wiser.
Exactly. More experience, so even better.
We have different outfits now. Actually, we might be matching in the next couple matches. Every once in a while, it's like one of those moon phases. We have similar colors, so I don't know. You got to watch out. Usually we're opposite, but we might be matching now.
You know, the last time we talked, it was how tough is it to self-motivate? How much motivation was going between the two of you? We'll be back. Just hang in there. You can make it. I'd love to hear some of those stories. Can you share some of those stories?
Well, yeah, I mean, she always got my back, and when I got sick after finally she was coming back and I got sick, so she was a big motivation for me to come back.
We had a phone call earlier in the year.
Motivation speech
Yep.
was there going on.
For sure, because it can be, it can be challenging when your body doesn't feel good, when you don't feel good. It doesn't mean your tennis game's not there. So, it takes some patience to just say, you know what, every day you got to wake up. How am I feeling today? Do I feel like playing tennis? Because if you don't, it's better to take a day off. And then one day, I told Lucy, I was like, one day you're going to wake up and you're going to feel like playing tennis again. You're going to miss it. And that's the day when you got to go out there and play. And same thing for me. It's just, I took it one step at a time. And here we are now playing at the U.S. Open.
She was tennis broadcaster of the year. Yes.
I mean,
so I'm going to stick.
I was worried a little bit because she's so good and she might not come back on the court.
She's so good. I'm going to give her the mic. I'm going to write the script.
Yes.
Well, Lucy, what's it like playing with me again? There's your
Lucy, listen. If you had to give away my biggest secret, what would it be?
Margarita chews snacks.
We have our salted margarita chews out on the court. It's always snack time. So that's how Team Boosie rolls.
All right, I'm writing it in my book. A week from next Sunday, not this Sunday, we're going to be together, and you know why. That's when the champions are decided. Okay. Bethany, always thanks.
Thank
Lucy,
you.
Thanks very much.
I like the good energy. Oh, cause.
Tennis fans, great to have you with us on Inside Tennis with the Cause. We love our sponsors, and you will too. Stop by and see them. Until then, remember, in tennis scoring, love means nothing, but love of the game means everything. Keep alive your love of the game. Love you, tennis fans, and we'll see you right here every Saturday, 12:30 on SNN.
Inside Tennis with the Cause has been brought to you by Firkins Automotive. Find it at Firkins.
Last chance to get spring sales event savings at Firkins Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. Don't miss the spring sales event at Firkins Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram.